What is up, you guys? I'm Shoop. Just kidding. I'm Chuck. That's Shoop.
I got a little confused there for a second, Chuck. You were starting the intro today, huh?
Yeah. I think I was taking over for a second.
Hey, New Year's resolutions, huh?
Hmm.
Well, I'll take it from here, Chuck. We got another fantastic episode today. We're almost into 2023,
Mm,
which is freaking scary.
yeah.
Uh, but what's not scary is the content that we're about to put out for you today. Well, maybe it is scary, scary good, that is. Uh, Dubs and L's, of course, coming up soon. But we're going to go over today our all pro team predictions for the NFL. We're going to go over who we think is going to be on the first team. And we're going to go over a little bit of cap or no cap NFL head coach edition. Who's getting canned and who stays?
Hmm.
Plus, another week of NFL pick'em. But you know how we start things off, Chuck. What we starting with?
Some dubs and some L's.
Dubs and L's, and no player on in the entire planet of sports deserves W more this week than Luka freaking Doncic, who had maybe one of the best games in NBA history. I believe it was on Tuesday night or Monday night.
It was, I think it was Monday night. I think it was Monday
It
night.
one of the best games in history on Monday night. 60 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, but it wasn't just that stat line, which is absurd in itself. But the Mavericks were down 9 to the Knicks with as little as 35 seconds to go. And the Mavs tied the game with 1 second to go after Luka intentionally missed a free throw, caught the rebound, and put the basket in. I mean, it was absolutely incredible stuff. Shout out to the Knicks for being on the other end of another choke, just like the Reggie Miller game.
Yep.
They seem to always just be on the opposite end of these things. But Luca is 23 years old, and you just need to think about that, what he's doing right now. So LeBron is getting close to retirement, we think. Steph Curry, he's not been the same. Well, I mean, Steph Curry, he's getting older, so he won't
Yeah.
be that same player that much longer.
Mm.
So who's going to take over the NBA? It seems clear as day that it's going to be Luca. With Giannis will be there in the fold, but it's going to be incredible to see Luca's growth over the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Do you think he's going to win MVP this season? I think so.
Right now, he's got to
As of
be,
now.
well, he's not a lock, but he's as big as a favorite as you can be only a few months into the season.
After that performance, 100%. My dub, we're going to stick with basketball. I got two dubs for us right now. Speaking of basketball, Nets, 10 game winning streak right now. We're keeping it going, baby. They are
Yes, sir.
hot as fucking molten lava, and they're coming through every team and just breaking it up. And then I'm looking for them to be first in the next couple of weeks because I think the Celtics are getting a little sleepy, and the Brooklyn Nets are right behind them after last night. And another dub, Mine Williams reported he is active for Ohio State football for this weekend's game against Georgia. So that's huge after hearing Jackson Smith and Jigba wasn't active for this game. Now we have now not we, but Ohio State has a piece that they can use to counteract Georgia's superior defense that looks almost unstoppable. But we'll see this Saturday how unstoppable they can be.
Yeah, Ohio State definitely needs all the weapons on offense that they can get. And assuming that Trevion Henderson is back and being healthy, he's had plenty of time to recover from his injury.
Mm-hmm.
That 1-2 punch that worked so well in the beginning of the season should return to form.
And I remember it clear as day against Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, go Buckeyes. Um, Moving on to a different sport for my L. So we're gonna go to baseball for this one. So MLB Hall of Fame voting is like that really weird frat party where they charge you $20 to get in, and then you walk in and there's like 10 people with like a single girl standing around with a solo cup. For some reason, MLB takes Hall of Fame almost way too seriously, where they almost don't let anybody get in. at all every season. And take, for example, Billy Wagner. Now, you remember Billy Wagner from the mid 2000s as the Mets closer, but even he goes way earlier than that. He is sixth all time in saves in MLB history, and he's on the Hall of Fame ballot, but he didn't get in yet. And one of the people that didn't vote him in was John Heyman. Now, John Heyman, who was you might know him as the former ESPN Sunday Night Baseball broadcaster. His reasoning for not voting him in was that he was spotty in his few postseason appearances. He had like an ERA of 10 in his 11 innings of postseason pitch, which, okay, that's not great, not good at all. Yeah. But you're taking 11 innings of a 16-year career in which he is top 10 in the major category that he dominated, and you're saying that's not good enough? It's like saying, well, I would love to date this 9 out of 10 girl over here, but she only makes 100,000 a year, and I need her to make 110,000.
Yeah.
But okay, stop being so damn picky and put in the most famous players in history. That's all the Hall of Fame is. You don't have to nitpick every single stat, okay? If he was on steroids, I get it, but this guy wasn't. So just let the guy in. Let him in the Hall of Fame. What do you think, Chuck?
I completely agree. That's not the first time I've heard stories like that with the MLB Hall of Fame, and it's brought up to me that I think Roger Clemens and like Barry Bonds, like they don't have a chance anymore at the Hall of Fame. And I'm not like pro steroids, but I mean, with the statistics that are shown in baseball, I feel like that's like the proof in the pudding for most of these guys to get in. And if you could just like disregard 11 innings, like, well, I mean, regard 11 innings in a postseason and then not let a guy in, I think it's preposterous. And it's like all those, how many games he played it? Like what, like 60 innings or whatever, or whatever, like times two that. It's like all that didn't matter, whatever he did. So I think that's BS. He should definitely be in. I don't know what that is.
Exactly. Think about it like if Dan Marino, they didn't let Dan Marino in the Hall of Fame because he didn't have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. Or honestly, strong conversation. Eli Manning could not get in, even though he has two Super Bowls and two Super Bowl MVPs. I could see him. Everybody saying like he shouldn't be in, but he should. He should definitely be in.
He will be.
We're gonna keep this L relevant here as huge L's on people just doing stupid things. So right now, I don't think this is the Raiders, but Derek Carr's recently just been benched. And I don't know. I don't think it was the Raiders benching him. I'm pretty sure reports say that he wanted to take himself away from the team, so like to not be a distraction. I think this is a huge L for like the Raiders and him. Like, what are you doing? Like, you got two games left. Yeah, you're not eliminated. You're basically eliminated, but you're not eliminated from the playoffs. Like anything could happen, but you're just gonna go up and leave the team and leave Devonte Adams, who they just signed for basically you to like pick it up, but he had one of his worst season career performances, beside like compared to his rookie year, which was also pretty bad. But honestly, huge L for the Raiders, huge L for Derek Carr. Does not look good for the brand, and hopefully, like they figure out something like for him, or some other team figures out something for him because it's not looking good.
Yeah, Chuck, this L is not on Derek Carr whatsoever. There, he lives, breathes, sweats the black and silver. To think that he would want to leave the team with 2 games remaining is ludicrous. Uh, Something had to be said to him within the organization, like either we're keeping you healthy for free agency, or you want to see what we have in Stidham. Regardless, something where
The Stidham
they're
part, I
virtually
just
eliminated. They're virtually eliminated, and uh, are they making the correct move? I don't really think so.
I don't think, yeah.
But do they want to pay him 40 million after how he performed in his last 2 primetime games against the Rams on Thursday and then this past week against the Steelers? They weren't good performances. So I understand why the Raiders wouldn't want to pay him. But what do the Raiders do? I mean, they're gonna they're probably not going to be a good team next year unless they get another free agent quarterback. Uh, this organization might somehow be in worse shape than their division foe Denver Broncos, which is saying something.
Yeah, the division's tough as it is already. So big